Hey everybody, welcome to Slamfire Radio, episode 427 for April 21st, 2021. I'm one of your hosts, Kelly Lynn.
And I'm Adriel Michaud.
And I'm Kyle Warner.
Hey, everybody's using their last names too.
That's I'm awesome. Mo Tellerico.
Oh, and I forgot about Mo. I forget about Mo. Yeah.
For shame.
Poor Mo.
Every once in a while, Mo, can you just move? I just need to make sure that you're alive. All right. Just move. Let's go.
Did I have my corpse face on?
Yeah. I thought it was frozen. Hello? You there?
I'm here. Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Anyways, how is everybody this week?
Good.
Terrific.
Okay. Terrific. Okay. Good. Adriel?
I'm here.
Okay.
Wow.
How's the house going, by the way?
Had some showings. Did some maple seed stuff. It's been a good week. Yeah.
Okay, good. I'm hoping that you sell soon. I'm thinking you're hoping that you sell soon even more. It's going to be a few months, you think?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
It's going to be a few months.
You should have been here. You can sell a house before you even list it.
Oh, in Ontario?
Edmonton, not so much. But on the flip side, I'm going to buy a house for like $350, somewhere around there. And that's not possible in your area of the country.
Oh,
no.
No,
it's not.
Not even in the ghetto.
In the greater Toronto area, you can get a cardboard box in an alley for $350,000.
I was just going to say, you can buy my place for $350. It's not great. It's not what you want, but you can buy it for $350. That's what it's worth right now.
You couldn't pay me to move to Toronto.
Yeah.
It's your favorite Texan. Sorry, I got distracted.
I would move to Texas.
Yeah, Texas, I would. Yeah.
So, Tim Crosno is commenting. So, if you do not know Tim Crosno, he's from Texas. He's from San Antonio, and it is absolutely beautiful down there. And I would 100% move down there if I could.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep, I would. Well, let's stop talking about Tim and let's get into the show. So, what we did in guns this week is brought to you by the Calgary Shooting Center. It's Canada's premier firearms retailer. The I stopped myself there.
Where were you going with that?
Who knows? We don't want to know.
So today's episode is all about scopes, apparently, because of Schmidt and Benders. These are beautiful scopes, and for $1,600.79, you can, or $1,679. You can get some
$1,700 somewhere around there. Yeah.
Some quality scopes, but I would recommend you go and check out Vortex Canada first. Just saying. You can get those there at Calgary Shooting Center too. I know. I was there. Anyways, you guys want to talk about Schmidt and Bender anymore? No? Yes? No.
Good.
All right. Okay. All right. Adriel, what did you do?
I was going to say not much, but I did a couple of things. I went to Drumheller, did a maple seed there. Pretty nice. Very picturesque.
Range.
Weather wasn't even that bad. It was like 20-ish during the day. It was a little bit chilly in the morning, but to be expected. Did a little bit of stargazing with spotting scope. And
how'd that go?
Saw some interesting things. So like right now, it's actually a pretty good time to spot Jupiter's moons. You can see them fairly easily, and you can hit them pretty quick with something like this. Or Saturn's rings are also visible with a decent spotting scope. Fun fact, the moon is 30 MOA. So if you want to shoot the moon, you could probably do it standing very easily. Jupiter, half an MOA to 1 MOA, maybe off of a bench, you could shoot Jupiter.
Yeah. You'd have to do a bench shot.
A little bit hard to make that shot standing, but doable, I think. Still doable.
Yeah. So what are you going to use for ammo?
For ammo for the Jupiter?
Yes.
Something hot. Something real hot. You got to be going fast.
Yeah. A little bit.
Yeah.
Are you also the astronomy guy?
No. My kid's into it, and I had some optics that I wanted to test the bounds of, and I found them. So
good.
I think to get better clarity, I would need a better tripod, because the tripod I had was all right, but it's a little bit windy and like things were moving around, and it was hard to. That's the only thing stopping you really once you've got the proper optics and magnification. And the Drumheller maple seed itself was really, really good. Steve ran it, and I have a second third shoot boss, I guess, here in Alberta.
Yeah, so he's a brand new shoot boss. You guys are just multiplying like rabbits out there.
Mm-hmm. And while I was there, I was talking with them about running more events there next year. And I was also talking to another range in that area about running events next year. So I'm going to start like stacking up the events for next year so that Alberta can rightfully pull back that dominance in terms of number of events. Yeah. I'm going to owe you a sandwich this year. This last one, like they did worse in the afternoon than they did in the morning. Ooh. They melted.
They melted.
Oh dear.
Yeah. Some of them, like people get to the end and they got so much piss and vinegar left in them. They're just like, yeah, let's give me that mad minute. And they just crush it. And other times they're like, they're doing it because you're asking them to, but they're worn out.
Like, no, don't make me do it. Don't make me shoot anymore.
Oh yeah, that one.
Do I have to?
Yeah. But no, it was a really good time. We had someone patch with on Irons 1022, which is I always like to see. And,
that's cool.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Very cool.
And I think this weekend I might sight in my hunting rifle, so I'm going to use the Maverick in 6.5, I believe. Yeah, I've got some. So Seiko had a sale on 140 grain ammo, and I bought a whole truckload of it because it was on like they had like that discount, $10 bought back on each box. So I bought like 10 of them.
Yeah,
I hope that ammo's good out of it because that's all I got.
Okay.
So I'm gonna run that, or I'm gonna use my other 6.5 Creedmoor, I guess.
That's Seiko ammo. It should be good enough.
I think it would be, but the Maverick doesn't really like the 140 grain stuff. It liked like the 129. So I don't know. Hopefully it runs really well. And I think that's it.
All right, your job while everybody else is running good deals on Vortex Viper PST Gen 2s out there. That's from Brad.
Vortex is map pricing, so like the price you see at your local store will be the same price as Cabela's or anywhere else. So if there's a good price, it's a good price. Are we on Black Friday sales yet? Did those pass? Those are still coming up, aren't they?
They're still coming up. It's going to be it's going to be next month that they're coming up.
Yeah, November.
I would say Black Friday. Yeah. I'm going to save some money. Black Friday. It's always it's been really good recently.
Prophet River every once in a while runs them as well, but that's
they sell demo scopes and that kind of thing. Yeah.
But every once in a while you can find it. What?
Lifetime warranty. Who cares?
Yeah, it's still fine to buy a demo. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I like demos. Give you good deals, and it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah,
it's fine. Don't worry about
it. That's it for me.
Is it fine?
It's fine.
It's fine. It's fine.
Anyways, okay. Well, what about you?
I started dry firing again. I don't have any matches this weekend, but the weekend after I'll have 2. So I'm just getting getting the rust off. So CTM, CFRAM, they're starting their indoor season
series. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So they're gonna, and it's actually good. So now that I was gonna say past COVID, but not really. They're actually going to have 8 matches starting so every month up until May. So that's going to be good. And then the other one is Eastern Ontario will have their, final outdoor one. And it's going to be like a Halloween match. I'm not sure if I'm going to wear a costume because I'm scary as I am, but
no, you got to wear a costume.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Maybe a blonde wig. No. Thank you. So I've been doing the dry fire. I cleaned some 9mm brass because I'm going to be reloading this weekend for those 2 matches. Obviously, not really much else. I told CTM that I wanted to volunteer to help with the builds for their matches because that range, depending on traffic, the roadway is only like 25-30 minutes from my home. So it would be easy for me to go on a Friday afternoon, like even take a half day off and go and help build. And then I'll just go back on the I'll shoot on the Saturday.
Yep.
And at least I can do that for the winter. I think it'll be fun to do.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really it for me. How about you, Kyle?
Oh, well, Friday, last minute, I got a call from our RO director. And I guess we had a group of kids from Big Brothers Big Sisters out at the range to shoot. So I went out, RO'd for that. It was a really fun night. Bunch of young kids. I think the youngest was 6 years old, and I swear she didn't stand 3 feet tall. She was just a tiny little thing. And I got to work with her the first time with her first gun she ever shot. So that was pretty awesome. It was a pretty cool night. And yeah, so total there was probably about 10 kids. And then there was a bunch of adults there, and there was a few of them that had never shot or hadn't really shot. So got to work with them a little bit too. And introduced to the shooting. Had a little bit of a barbecue, and yeah, it was a great night. Really awesome night. Other than that, I did get some new guns, but they're not the guns you're thinking. But they are all prohibs, so this is the only way I could get these guns.
Okay, are you showing them on air?
I am. They're right here. I'm showing them.
Okay. Are they your guns like this?
There's
you thought it was
So there's the first one. It's a little Barrett.
Nice.
Little Barrett 50 cal, and they even got the little bullets
on the little. Okay.
I like it.
And like these things are just so cool, and action cycles.
Yeah.
Neat.
Trigger works. It doesn't work, but it moves.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I now have my 50 cal.
Awesome.
Very nice.
And I have an issue with impulsive buying, so
I like those things.
I got tagged in these,
those.
and so I was on their website and I ended up just getting their supply crate. So it was like 10 guns. It was double up on 3 of them and then a few other ones, but got my Tommy gun.
Oh, look at that.
Nice.
I got to get the drum mag for it though.
Yeah. Have you ever shot a Tommy gun?
I haven't. No.
Oh, I have.
No.
It's awfully fun. I know people.
So controllable.
It is.
An AUG?
Yeah. What about those? Have you shot one of those?
No.
Oh, I have. Next.
Whatever you're going to pull up next, Kelly's shot it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll pull up something that I have shot then.
Okay.
Actually, I could do that on a couple of them. The AR.
Oh.
But, so, there's your selector switch.
Yeah. Full auto.
Nice.
Fire.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then,
Fun switch.
Yeah, the fun switch.
Yeah, I shot one of those too. Anyways.
Yeah, same. Cobalt kinetics. Yeah, and like even the mag release is proper. You push.
Look at that.
So, these are all really cute. Where are you going to put them?
Well, you'll see in a minute probably. They actually sell a little mini gun rack that holds 7 of them. So they're on my desk, and so I ended up with 2 AKs in it. One of them is just your standard.
Locks on all of them, by the way.
Absolutely not. But you can't just have a black AK. You got to get the gold AK.
Pimping. Right? I love it.
And like I said, and you put them together, it comes off the way an AK comes off, and rock the mag. And have you shot one of these, Kelly?
Yeah, I have. Not a gold one, though.
Not a gold one, no.
Wow, then.
The one I shot was all beat up, too, so. But, yeah, and then, SVD. The Swivel Bipod.
Oh, these are all cute.
Yeah. And
awesome.
I think there's a couple others there, but yeah, they're kind of cool and nice little desk decoration.
Very cool.
Yes, Tim, we know you have an AK.
I have 2 now. Except for his are more fun.
Yes.
It was funny when I was putting these together, I just let Gage grab one and he was running around, and I gotta tell you, 6 years old and he's learned pretty well because he had his muzzle safety all. He was going around with it just, and I had actually put one on the bench, just wasn't even paying attention, and like it's a little toy and wasn't looking and, oh, that's pointing right at mom. So he moved it so it wasn't pointing at mom.
Nice.
And I'm like,
Oh,
okay, I'm pretty proud of you, kid.
yeah, you trained him well.
It's well raised.
And so, yeah, got some desk toys. And then the CCFR neon sign finally came in. So that's what I was saying. You're going to see that pretty soon. And
there you
there
go.
it is.
Look at that.
And
then
Kelly, Kelly did some troubleshooting on it. Oh my god! Look at your keyboard. That would be so distracting. For me. It is distracting for
All
me.
the RGB.
Oh my god! Look
Well,
at
you
that.
don't
Some
look at the
setup.
keyboard, but yeah. So that's pretty cool.
That is an awesome little office there.
Yeah, that is. Yeah.
Thanks.
And congratulations on the sign, by the way. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I'm
very
glad to have it. It looks awesome. Nice ambiance for the space.
Excellent. That's
Yeah.
good. All right.
And that's it for me. Kelly?
Okay. So I did not go shooting this past weekend. I spent the whole entire weekend with the ladies from the CCFR women's division. We had a weekend away. It was raining, so we decided not to go and do our usual stuff. So instead, we went to shopping. And guess where we went? We went to SFRC because it was Saturday. And what do we do on Saturdays? We go to SFRC. I got some things there. What did I buy? Oh, I bought some targets because I'm going to be taking some people out to the range and I wanted to get them some cool zombie targets. And I also
Nice.
bought some new electronic earbuds that actually sit in the ears and they're cheap. And I'm going to try them out and see if I like them or not. And we can wear them during, I don't know, when we go and shoot skeet or whatever. Because, you know, the ear pro that's over the ear is a little cumbersome when you're shooting skeet. What else did I buy? Quite a few things there. I was looking for a good deal. They didn't have any more 28 gauge, so I wasn't able to get any of that. But anyways, spent some time at SFRC. Had a great time and chat with everybody there. Went over to SAS, which is the Smith Army Surplus store, and I got some really cool stuff there. It's not really. We were looking at gear, so specifically 511 gear pants, and I picked up some pants, I picked up some shirts, and I picked up a range blanket, and also I lost my sleeping bag at one of the places I went to recently. It was left there, so I picked up a new wubby almost sleeping bag, so which was cool.
What kind of temperature range are you running with your sleeping bags? Warm?
No, I think it's down to minus 20.
Wow, that's too much.
Nice.
Yeah, but I'm always cold. Remember that, right? But
Mine's good to
mine's this
minus 4.
Yeah,
It's
usually
like too hot. I gotta leave it.
I usually
all the
buy
time.
a minus 10.
Yeah, well,
That's usually what I go with.
yeah, minus 10. Minus 10's good. Anything colder than that, I'm just not sleeping outside. That's dumb. Yeah, but I'm always cold, so I bought a little. I purposely bought it so that it was a little warmer because I am freezing all the time. So, but that's about it with that. Didn't do anything else really. I was telling the guys before we got on that I'm supposed to be going out on Saturday to take some people out. Every year I put in for the United Way draw, and I take people to the range. And I was supposed to take people this year, and we only were able to arrange it for this Saturday, and the person's not coming. So you know what I did? I filled it with somebody else. So always take people to the range.
Good.
So, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, and that's about it. I'm supposed to go out hunting tomorrow too with Kelly and Kyle. We're going to go duck hunting, so maybe we'll get some quackers. Quackers?
Nice.
I bet you will.
Quackers? Quack. Yeah.
Some quackers.
How do you like to do up your ducks? What do you guys do with them?
We smoke them on the smoker with cherry wood and preserves.
I don't
Still-
cook
Like
a
strips?
duck.
Like
Nope.
smoked strips, or like the whole breast, or
Whole breasts. Yeah, delicious.
And how do you pair it with anything? Red wine, white wine,
Of course, it goes with red wine. It's
boxed red wine, right?
It's yes, especially.
Box.
It does go well with the red wine, by the way. But yeah, it can be boxed, especially the one that says red on it. It's a blend. That's not a blend. That's actually, anyways. But no, we do that. Have a nice
Couscous on the
salad
side?
with it. Couscous. Little something, something.
Any hot sauce? No.
A little smoked squash. Why are we talking about food?
I'm getting hungry. Stop.
I'm just
I was
curious.
hungry
'cause,
when
like,
we started,
had-
and it's like,
I've had duck a couple of times, and like it's tasted awful every time. So I'm just curious about like, what do you do so it doesn't
duck
taste
is
awful?
tough to cook. It's either hit it or you don't.
Yeah.
And I've cooked it once and it didn't work out. I prefer cooking goose over duck.
I've done jerky. I've like, oh man, this meat is terrible. But if you put like a whole bunch of salt on it and you smoke it and you like make it into jerky, it doesn't matter. It tastes great.
Put it on the smoker and put some. I keep spitting on the mic. Put it on the smoker and put some preserves on it. And let's do it low and slow, and it's delish. It really is.
Yeah. That's why I was digging into it. Other than the pairing with wine.
Yeah, I love my new smoker. By the way, I broke it out. I smoked everything that was in my freezer. Everything.
Broke it out and broke it in.
Yes, I did.
Because with grouse, you can just like that stuff's fine. It's like chicken. There's hardly any gaminess to it. Super easy to cook. If you want to get fancy, you can wrap it in bacon, but you don't have to. You can just treat it like bacon. Chicken.
Yeah, I like cutting it up in strips, throw it in the cast iron pan with a little bit of butter, and just pan fry it that way.
Yep.
Okay.
Little
super
chicken
easy.
bites.
So
no more food talk.
I was just going to say, everybody that's listening, we'll be putting out the Slimefire Radio cookbook this Christmas. Stay tuned. Recipes from Mo's mom. Okay. Upcoming events. Let's get into it. Upcoming events is sponsored by TLS Alpha. It's a Canadian digital agency that works exclusively in the firearms vertical. They help us with business processes, strategic planning, websites, e-commerce, and battling the stigma that the industry carries with banks, merchant processors, and social media. Too true, by the way. Learn more at tlesalpha.com. They got some upcoming maple seeds that are happening in Winnipeg, Regina. Go to the Regina one, Saskatchewan, people, if you would like to have anything this year. As also, I think Kamloops was already done, so that could be taken off. So, yeah. My maple seeds are going to be happening at the end of the month. They're all sold out, and maybe we might have some more throughout the year. Maybe a winter seed or two.
If you have a range and you want to get maple seed out there, contact your local maple seed shoe boss or send an email to info@mapleseedrifleman.com.
Yeah, we'll fire it off to whoever.
And we'll get an event at your range.
Yeah, we're already booking next year, so let's do this. And by the way, when's my sandwich coming? Are you done? Are you done?
I'm done. I lost. Unless you really like shit the bed on your next two events, and it's just
I've already
catastrophe.
The best. They were the best at the beginning of the year. Anyways, yeah, okay. We do have a ladies' day that's going to be happening. I wanted to talk about it. It's going to be happening at Lower Trent Valley. It's happening on the 30th of October. It's on Practice Court. No, sorry, Eventbrite. But you can also go to Lower Trent Valley, which is in Trenton, by the way, everybody, or near Trenton, Ontario.
Toronto?
Yes, it's Toronto there, Adriel.
Okay.
No, it's not
Toronto.
No.
Anyways, if you are interested and you know some ladies that want to go shooting, check that out. So, yeah. CCFR, we have some things that are going to be happening with the CCFR. I forgot to put it in, and I don't see it in here, you guys. There is some news with respect to, I guess on April the 11th, they're going to be hearing about the CCFR's legal challenge, and they're going to try and put in place an injunction so that basically we can keep our guns while it's being heard before the courts. Because
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, it was posted today, and I didn't have the opportunity to put it on our page, so I'll share it there later. Awesome. So CCFR legal fund donations, more important than ever for you guys to get your bum over there and to become a member. If you're not already a member, you can also donate to their legal fund by sending an EMT to finance@firearmsrights.ca. However, that being said, Adriel, do you want to talk about keep your right to defile your guns?
I mean, you still get to donate to the CCFR. Yeah. You still get to get the right to defile your guns, but you get a chance to win a Dremel, and I think that's pretty good. Yeah. So the idea here, if you listen to Slamfire Radio, you'll hear us talk about, especially me, talk about Dremeling everything. With the way things are going, you might not be able to mod your guns with files and Dremels, but with Slamfire Radio's CCFR Legal Challenge fundraiser, You can help save your rights to win a chance to Dremel your way to freedom. That's Kyle's line, by the way. Here's how to win a chance at an Adriel autographed cordless Dremel 8220. I tried it. It's neat. I like the idea of cordless. Like the idea of being able to mangle guns on the road.
I was going to say, did you just sweeten the deal? It's not just autographed by Adriel. It's actually been used by Adriel.
I didn't Dremel any guns. I should have. Hey, there should be like shavings in there.
But you touched it. Your DNA is on it.
Comes with shavings.
They could make another Adriel.
Maybe some blood. Be like, whoops! I got my hand.
Yeah.
No, I don't want any DNA evidence. No,
not a good idea.
That thing's going in bleach now.
Anyways, if you want a chance to win a Dremel that I didn't use on a gun yet, I might yet though. Donate to the CCFR Legal Challenge by going to firearmsrights.ca/legal_challenge. Yep. Or send an EMT to finance@firearmsrights.ca. Use the password HELP-CCFR. And then send us an email with the proof of the donation. And then, we'll add your name to the list. Yep. Draw will happen on November 18th, 2021. And right now we have a few people in there. Jennifer H. is gunning for that Dremel. That would be very easy for delivery.
I know, right?
I got a question. Like, the draw's happening November 18th. Do we have a cutoff for that?
Yes.
17th?
No.
18th in the morning?
Midnight, November 17th. So
sure. I think that's reasonable. Reasonable. Yeah.
So here's the deal. Remember last week when I said that I would take part of my pay and donate it towards the legal fund? I did.
2 weeks ago, I believe it was. Yeah.
It was 2 weeks ago. Did anybody else? It was a challenge. So
I get
paid there.
I took you up on the challenge, but I get paid monthly. So.
Oh. Okay.
I forget stuff all the time. You got to remind me, otherwise.
I get paid once a month, beginning of the month, so it's still a week and a half out.
Hey Mo, blink. Tell us your lie.
He's gonna. Oh, he didn't blink. Yep. He's gonna blink out torture now.
Oh, that just went like.
All right. Anyways, so challenge is out there for anybody who's interested to go and donate. I've donated 50. I'll donate 50 on my next one, and to the legal challenge because I like to keep my guns. So it's out there for everybody. And then if you do that, then send us an email and tell us, and then you can have the opportunity to win a Dremel. I'm not allowed to win the Dremel.
Me neither.
I guess not either, man.
It would be seen as favoritism or nepotism or whatever. I
already have a Dremel.
Yeah, you already have a Dremel. Oops. I was just putting up there. Richard Lee is full of great ideas, by the way. He's one of the ones that suggested that we do the Dremel draw. He says new CCFR fundraiser, Slamfire Cooking, the best Canadian cuisine from reticle to recipe. I think that's a great idea.
That would be pretty cool.
No one buys recipe books anymore. Instead, you got to go to some website, read some nonsense story that doesn't have anything to do with the recipe, and then about a page down or so, you get to the actual recipe.
Do you remember when the pandemic?
Yeah, you get to hear the family history before you actually get to the
I don't want
recipe.
I don't want to know that. No, or whatever.
Oh, thank you.
Do you remember when the pandemic started? And we were trying to figure out different things to do. I started recipes and posted them on our website. Yeah. We should do that again. Recipes on our website, not our website. On
I could put a recipe plugin in there.
Yeah, let's do recipes. I like recipes.
Duck a la Kelly.
Duck a la Kelly.
Once in a while, just throw something in there. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So that's about that.
So I gotta start measuring my spices now.
No, why would we?
No, use like folksy terms for how much you're putting in. A little bit.
A
pinch,
splash, a dash.
Salt Bay.
A child's handful.
All right. Okay. Why don't we get into new gun stuff? But before that, we're going to talk about Bolt Action Coffee. Bolt Action Coffee. So Slamfire Radio is a brand ambassador for Bolt Action Coffee. The coffee is roasted in small batches and is quite honestly some of the best coffee that you can get your little hands on. Send it to your house by going over to Bolt Action Coffee. Put in the discount code SLAMFIRE, all one word, capital letters. By the way, they did let us know, and we posted it on our Facebook page, that they are last call for the limited edition. It's called it's 11th hour. Yeah, 11th hour coffee. That's that they're roasting off for Remembrance Day. Remember, this is a veteran-owned company, and all the proceeds from this batch specifically is going back to veteran organizations and helping those that are basically battling PTSD. So go out and do it. There's only 300 pounds available, and I think, well, when we were talking about it a couple of weeks ago, it was over halfway sold out, so I'm pretty sure it's almost sold out. So go over there and get some coffee. If you want like a discount on it, Slamfire Radio, all one word. All right, get into new gun stuff. Darryl.
New gun stuff. So there was one exciting thing that happened this week, at least that I think is exciting. The Jar J180 kits got to Sylvester's. So this is a 180 build kit. And the big difference with this one is that you can use your gas tube from your AR. So you could take your AR with all the parts on it, remove everything out of the receiver, take the receiver, dip it in concrete and leave it for a while, and then put all your other parts on this guy here, and it would be fine. So I think that a lot of people out there were just sitting around with their AR, and now they have like a full replacement. So like because the 180s took especially some of the Canadian ones, they did take some AR parts, but typically the barrel was kind of a special order kind of an item, and the piston was and gas system was proprietary. Whereas these just go DI straight off of your regular AR gas system.
Sweet.
So
it's an interesting dust cover.
You know, I was looking at this picture. Yeah, I don't. It's like a little halfy, like kind of a thing. I mean, I guess the rest of the bolt is like sealed pretty well in there. Like I don't know if you saw the mud test when Forgotten Weapons did it with the AR, but like the bolt seals pretty well in there, and even if the dust cover's open, it's pretty good at keeping dirt and mud out. Maybe that's the thought. I'm not sure. It's like a little halfer, and even the magazine release is not standard either. It's it
almost looks like a safety.
Yeah, it's instead of being straight, it's like angled a little bit up, so it's a little bit lower on there. Yep, no bolt release or anything like that, but very interesting in terms of like being able to use your AR parts on there.
Left side charging. Still?
I believe right side only. Left side's totally sealed. Real deal breaker if you're a gamer. But if you're like survival end of days kind of a thing, like the sealed left side is probably a better idea because it makes for a more sealed up action. Yeah, I'm a gamer. I don't want the left side charging. And
I love the left side charge.
Yeah,
I'd take the left side charge over even a standard AR charge now.
Oh yeah. I would too. I like a fixed charging handle. They're quick to use. I would like if the 180s had a bit more of a better bolt release, something faster that you could just mash on with speed. Yeah. Anyways, I imagine these are sold out. They had like a long list of people who are interested in them, and they're probably all gone. Yeah. Next, Kilsenberg Gun Shop. They've got some X95s if you're looking. So they're at $26.99. Yeah. They got black and FDE and FDG. What's the green?
I'll drop
ODG.
OD.
OD green.
Yeah, $2,700. That's about what most people are
selling for those kind of things. Yeah.
223. Yeah.
And then for the next one, Eagle Firearms got a whole pile of used guns. These look very similar to the guns that Tradex was selling. The old Husqvarnas and M96s and that kind of thing, right around the same price point too, $300, that kind of thing. Yeah. Which is kind of interesting. So if you're looking for like maybe a backup hunting rifle or maybe a primary hunting rifle, if you shoot close in, it's not going to really make a difference. As well as they have a couple of like old odd things like the Remington rolling block rifles. I was kind of interested in. Now they use some snowflakey 8x58 weird cartridge here, but still really interesting because that is a genuine piece of history there for less than $400. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I see some Seikos in there too.
Yeah, so some Seikos in there, some Weatherby Vanguards, some Weatherby BAR. Browning BARs, M98 Mausers, Sporters.
Yep.
Used Remington 812, so some single shot shotguns, all sorts of interesting stuff in there. And then Astra Cyclope.
Very good. Say it 10 times fast now.
Some side-by-sides, Cyclope, Cyclope, Cyclope.
Yeah.
I wonder if they have any over-unders. Man, those weird Italian over-unders that Tradex was selling for a while, like $300-400, and you get like a decent Italian over-under. No, it looks like they're mostly so a couple more side-by-sides and some more bolt action stuff. A lot of like iron sight bolt action. Like you look at this guy here, this Stiga 30-06, like for $350. So for what's a Savage Axis go for these days? $450?
Yeah,
somewhere around there.
Yeah.
So for $450, you can get a Savage Axis in like a real practical cartridge with a scope on it. The scope won't be that great in a plasticky stock. Or you could, for $350, you could get a Stiga with iron sights in a wood stock in 30-06.
Yeah.
I don't know. Be a classy way to hunt, like close up compared to the axe here. Oh, it's got bases on there. You can put a scope on there. Yep. And that's kind of neat. And then Western Metal just got another shipment of Lee. So if you're looking for some reloading stuff and you're in Alberta, check them out. Or if you're not, they ship. Yep. I've got some Magneto Speed stuff from them before.
Okay.
That's all the new good stuff.
That's all the new good stuff. Okay, let's get into the main topic. Hey everybody, for tonight's main topic, we have Darryl from Vortex Canada. Hey, Darryl, nice to see you again.
Nice to see you.
Thanks for joining us. We had a lot of people who have written into the show. There are a lot of new shooters, especially, that are saying, I want to buy an optic, don't know what to buy. What would you recommend? And then also, how do you mount these things with, doing it correctly so that I don't ruin my scope, which I also see when I go to events. I'm going, oh dear. You might want to actually talk to your rep, whoever you bought this from, and tell them that you need a new scope because you did it wrong. So we thought we'd have you on.
Yeah, well, thank you very much for having me. It's great to be here and nice to see some familiar faces. The question that you started with is one that I get asked quite often. It's actually one that I field most of in a lot of the phone calls. Hey, we've got this firearm and I need an optic for it. What do you recommend? And initially, what I really start off with is what's your firearm you're mounting it to, followed by what's your intended purpose, followed by price point. What are you looking to spend in getting into that optic? And really through a couple of quick questions, we can really determine what the shooter needs. Because again, you're not going to want to put a 2-7x32 rimfire scope on your 308 hunting rifle. So yeah, absolutely. With a few key questions, just really, how much are you looking to spend? What are you looking to do? What distances are you realistically going to be shooting at? A lot of shooters, especially us here in Ontario, it's not super easy to find range that you can shoot out to 1,000 yards, right? Yeah. So again, hunting condition. So my recommendation for somebody hunting out west, as opposed to maybe somebody hunting here in Ontario, may differ significantly, just depending on their environment. So
okay, so people are able to call into Vortex Canada. You'll be on the phone answering the questions to them.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. So there's a lot of things that have been going on. Recently, I've been seeing a lot of more MILRAD at our events versus MOA. What's happening with Vortex with that? Are you seeing a lot more people request MILRAD versus MOA?
That's a great question. And really the MOA and the MRAD discussion, in my personal experience, you're one or the other. But as you mentioned, people are starting to seemingly make the shift over from MOA into MRAD. Really, at the end of the day, MOA versus MRAD, if you're really trying to determine what that is it's essentially a tape measure that you're going to be utilizing with your reticle when you're adjusting for your holdovers and so on and so forth. So if you already know MOA, stick with what you know and go with the MOA. Moving over to MRAD, there are some benefits. When you start getting out to longer distances, the calculations are a little bit more precise. Yeah. So I think that's where we're starting to see the shift over with the growing PRS, Rimfire series, so on and so forth. We're certainly seeing that shift over to MRAD more so. But MOA still has its home, and people keep it near and dear to their heart. So Really, what I was instructed when I was learning was, if you know one, stick with it. And at the end of the day, they're units of measure. They're angular units of measure, and learn one, learn it well, and you'll be able to utilize it to your benefit.
Yeah. What I tell people is, Canadians, we're bilingual when it comes to measurements. We go both imperial and metric, and we're lucky this way. We're starting to, as I said, we're starting to see more and more millirad, which is the metric. And then we also actually have to talk to those people from down in the US that are shipping up our products to us. And those are the ones that are in inches and convert it over to yards and also angles as well. My math teacher would be so happy with me right now. I have to say that.
Yeah, I would have paid much more attention in math class had I known I was going to need it as much as I do now, getting into the shooting sports, right? My math teacher would also be pretty proud.
Yeah. Other questions that we get is first focal plane versus second focal plane. Can you tell us the difference between those, and which one do you would recommend as well for whatever discipline or whatever they're using it for?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, first focal plane and second focal plane, the major difference is as you increase the magnification on your low power variable optic, on a first focal plane, your reticle is going to enlarge. As you zoom in, your reticle is going to get larger, which is beneficial in long range shooting for your subtensions and your holdovers. As they get a little bit larger, I'm wearing glasses. My eyesight certainly isn't getting any better. So for those longer range shots, I certainly do enjoy when the subtensions increase in size. Additionally, a benefit in the first focal plane would be that your subtensions and your holdovers remain true no matter which magnification level you're on. Yeah. Moving over to the second focal plane, it's your subtensions on your reticle are set for when you're at maximum magnification. So if you're shooting at, say, mid magnification level, say on level 7 on a 3 to 15, you're going to need to do some additional calculations to do your holdovers with the subtensions on the reticle. In addition to that, the other difference in second focal plane is obviously as you zoom in, the reticle will remain the same size.
Right. Which do you think? So if I'm going to be using it for, like as you said, longer distance, you would recommend first focal plane, I'm assuming, correct?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. For the longer distances, I would certainly recommend that. It's not needed, but I really enjoy it and would recommend it. Where wouldn't I maybe recommend a first focal plane would be for hunting applications. That's what I was The reticle's a little bit too busy. You're not hunting typically. You're not taking 300-400 shots typically. I mean, some people do push it out that far, but having the first focal plane reticle because again, we'll have our Christmas tree reticle, like the EBR-7C that's found in the PST Generation 2 or EBR-9. And when you zoom in on those on the first focal plane, the field of view can get, for lack of a better term, busy. And when you're trying to place an ethical shot on an animal, you may not want that, especially with the lighting conditions that can be present in certain hunting scenarios.
Okay.
Yeah, with those FFPs, if you zoom out, it like that big reticle that was really interesting at higher magnification at 3 is like just this squished down little mess.
Very tiny. Yeah.
Yeah, they can go down to 3. You can shoot with 3, but like as hunting, like it's hard to beat that the big crosshair.
That marks the spot.
Is the perfect thickness at every magnification.
Yeah. So you were talking about all the different types of reticles that are available to you. There is ones with, as you said, the Christmas tree, which is perfect for I'm assuming I already know this, but I'm doing an actual expression this way for people who don't know. So anything with the Christmas tree, for example, is great for PRS. Because you can actually use those for those holdovers that you're looking for instead of turning your turrets and making your adjustments. You can do it on the fly.
Absolutely.
You also have the X marks the spot, which is something a little bit more simple. You'll find those on, by the way, I love the Crossfire 2 Vortex scope for, we recommend them for Maple Sea because it's super simple. X marks the spot. And it's 2 to 7. That's all you need, really. So what are the benefits of having something a little bit more, like I just told some of the applications, but what would be the benefits of one versus the other?
One versus the other, sorry, in the first focal plane versus second?
No, I'm talking about the reticles itself. Oh,
the reticles themselves. So yeah, again, really the benefits of the busier reticles, again, are the subtensions and the holdovers, the amount of details, and being able to, you can range items with those reticles, where a simple V-Plex or V-Bright, they don't really afford. You can use the Stadia lines to use some form of measurements, but it makes it a lot easier for really using that reticle as a tape measure. And again, the V-Plex and the more simple reticles for the hunting application, those are really the benefits that I would really highlight on the reticle differences.
Okay. So what about this little thing about parallax? Can you explain to people about parallax? Because I've tried to explain it to people, and it's like, okay, sit down, pack a lunch.
Yeah, you and me both. I still have to explain it, and I do find myself. It's one of those ones where, as I discuss with folks, as we discuss further, we realize that maybe we don't know as much as we thought we knew when we're discussing the parallax. So, to simplify it, it essentially allows you to adjust your focus with regards, because everything's at your targets on a focal plane. You have different focal planes occurring inside the scope itself. So what the parallax adjustment allows you to do is it essentially allows you to adjust your focus in between those focal planes based on the distance that you're shooting. So in a PRS rimfire series, where this would be very beneficial, is if you're shooting various distance targets, say at 50 and at 75. For myself, and this isn't the absolute way you have to do it, but the way that I do it is I would either set my parallax to the maximum distance I would be shooting, so 75 for that example, or somewhere in the middle. Yeah. Because if I have a target at 50 and I have a target at 75, and let's say I set it for around 62 or 63, I'm going to kind of get the best of both worlds with regards to balancing the reticle image as well as the target image. So long story short, it helps you adjust your focus at the various distances that you'll be shooting to ensure you're shooting on target with a clear target.
Yeah, and you're going to see that with something that's a little higher in scope as well. You're not going to see it on the base model, basically. What's the parallax on your base model?
Oh, that one's the adjustable objective. So that one actually it's on a crossfire scope. I believe it's a 6-24 by 50, if I remember correctly, and it has the adjustable objective on the front, as opposed to the current design of the parallax is a lot closer to the shooter for quick adjustment, and that's found opposite side of the windage turret on your scope.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So what I did want to ask you about is, before we get into product itself, what I wanted to know is, a lot of people are talking about mounting their scopes, and I do see people that come to an event that have never actually mounted a scope, and they did it the night before. God bless them. They tried. So if they're thinking about doing that, and what types of equipment are they going to need to mount their scope correctly?
Absolutely. That's a great question. And you hit the nail on the head. It is a problem that we do see and encounter frequently at Vortex. And I want to start by saying that if anybody's thinking about mounting for the first time ever, please feel free to give the service department a call at any time. Like you said, you'll most likely be speaking with myself or one of my counterparts, and we'll certainly be happy to get you any advice that you need and kind of walk you through it a little bit as well. But to go through a little bit of it here, there's a few things. You're going to have a firearm, you're going to have an optic typically, and you're going to have the rings. These are very important parts of the equation. None is more important than the other, in my opinion. Buying a good set of rings, you have... I like to use the old adage of you're marrying two units together, and it just so happens that what you're marrying them together with happens to be a ring. And if you're going to get married in real life, you're probably not going to cheap out on the ring typically. So I put the same thing forth when you're mounting a scope. Let's spend a little bit of money, get yourself some quality rings. A really good starting point for our items would be the Pro Series rings. Then you can move into the PMRs if you were looking at spending a little bit extra. So some of the tools you're going to need to do that successfully is going to be a calibrated torque wrench. There's a Wheeler that's out there. We offer one, the custom torque wrench from Vortex, that will come with the majority of bits that you would ever need. And it really allows you to set your torque settings to where you need to on the lower end of things, which is where we typically find ourselves when we're mounting scopes and adjusting firearms. So to those torque specs, all Vortex Scopes are to be torqued to 15 to 18 inch pounds on that torque wrench. If you exceed the 18 inch pounds, there's a good chance that you will cause an indentation in the outer tube. A quick little rundown, your scope, you have an outer tube, that's where the ring point's affixed to. Inside of that tube, you have another tube that's going to move around. That houses your reticle, and as you make your adjustments on your turrets, that's what's going to move that internal tube around an external tube. So if we indent or compromise the external tube, that's going to limit our movement in the full radius of the circle. Additionally, you could cause a loss of argon purge in the unit, which would cause internal condensation. So if we do over torque our rings or compromise the scope tube, the issues that can occur are honestly endless. So that's why we put a lot of importance on that there. Something that people don't necessarily realize is when we're utilizing the torque settings, adding Loctite will provide a wet torque and will actually increase your torque settings. So this sometimes, even if your torque wrench is set at 15 inch pounds, you may torque to, again, 18, 19, 20 if you have Loctite in there, as it provides a wet torque. So that's definitely a key point. Yeah. So we definitely don't. Yeah, we don't advise the use of the Loctite on the ring halves affixing around the scope tube. If you want to put a small amount of blue Loctite on the base of the rings to the rail, that's okay. I personally don't myself, but definitely we advise strongly against any Loctite around the rings. So those are really the tools and the specifications you're going to be looking at. The steps through it is you're going to want to make sure a gun bench is also a very good tool to make sure that you have the ability to stabilize your firearm, because you're going to need to level your firearm, and that's done using a level. You can put a bore level on the front of your barrel, and you can have another small little level. I believe Wheeler makes one that you put on top of your rail. Then you move it over to the base of your rings, and then finally you place it on your turret. As you're going through, you're really just trying to ensure that on every axis of that, you are going to be level. And having a custom torque wrench with the levels will certainly help you achieve that. Followed by, if you have a bore sighter or even a portable collimator, you can then get yourself onto paper without even taking a shot via attaching this and making your adjustments to line up your reticle with where your point of impact is going to be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, basically.
Yeah, so it really is quite. We formulated, because this is such a common occurrence. We formulated I think it's an 11 or a 12 step form that lists everything you're going to need from the tools. It even provides photos, and then it gives you a step-by-step guide, quite literally, of exactly where to place the level. And yeah, it's really a great guide. If anybody wanted one of those, please feel free to give us a call and we'd be happy to get one sent out to you. We do offer mounting videos on our website as well. So if you are thinking about doing this, you can visit vortexcanada.net or vortexoptics.com, find the resources section, and there is a How to Mount a Rifle Scope 101, and it walks you through all of the steps that we covered.
That's awesome. All right. Yeah. So let's talk. You did say that we see some issues, troubleshooting. Let's talk about common problems. Troubleshooting common problems. Things like maybe actually, Adriel, what's a common problem you see with the scope?
Not torque tight enough.
It walks off.
Not far forward enough on a Ruger 1022, because you need to go basically as far forward as you can.
Yeah. That's actually what I also say.
I haven't seen anyone backwards yet, but I'm waiting. I think. Have you seen the backwards one yet?
Yes, I have.
I have.
Oh, I think it's a matter of time, right?
Not working.
But boy, it's small. These are really hard to use. I don't really like scopes. I imagine that was what's going to be like, right?
Actually, so let's Darryl. What's some of the common problems that people call in to you with?
Yeah, well, I mean, that actually made me think, just taking a step back with the mounting. So some of the common problems that we do see, and a couple of key points that I didn't mention, is when you're choosing your ring points on where you mount it on the scope, you want to make sure to do your best to have an equal distance between the rings, as well as you don't want to have your rings too close to either the turret assembly area, the eyepiece fast focus and or magnification ring, or too close to the objective bell end. That can certainly put stress in areas that you don't want. And to your current question, that is one of the problems that we do see frequently. And additionally, staggering the rings or the screws in the rings, instead of, don't just torque down the left one and left side, down to 15 or 18 inch pounds. And then this one, what you're going to do is you're going to potentially cause pinch points in the ring. And that will, even if you follow the torque specs, you're still going to have a damaged tube. So that's another common issue that is also closely related to poor quality rings, unfortunately. Yeah. A lot of the troubleshooting when we go through, we'll ask for photos of the setup, so on and so forth. The words, a picture is worth 1,000 words, could not be truer when it comes to the mounting game and trying to get everything aligned. Because as mentioned, you've got the firearm, the rail, the rings, and the scope, and then you have user as well. So there's plenty of variables. So in going through the troubleshooting, it's kind of, okay, let's see where we're at. Crushed tubes. Since we're on it, that is, I would say, hands down, that is. However the crushed tubes happen, that is definitely the most common issue we see with our rifle scopes. And that's just
over-torquing.
Mounting. Yeah, over-torquing or just not following the mounting procedure properly, typically. Anyway, sometimes that happens if the rifle takes a tumble. And, of course, all of this is covered under our Vortex VIP warranty. There's some of the other issues that we do see. I mean, I had a gentleman, somehow his scope is in two pieces. It's not in one piece anymore. It's literally in two pieces. He's not 100% sure how it happened, but that's certainly not a common issue, but that's one of those funny ones that kind of comes in and you're like,
it's called the Dremel.
Say Hacksaw got away on him or something.
Yeah, there you are. So, but yeah, I would definitely say that those really embody, I would say over 50% of our issues that we see would be crushed tubes and or mounting issues. The other ones would be, again, there can be factory defects. They're man-made instruments, and sometimes there are those. And for those ones that we see occasionally, it may be the tracking, especially now that we're finding our users, they're really pushing the limits of our optics, especially in the PRS. Yeah. And as you push those optics out further, the smallest imperfections start to show themselves a little bit more. So again, if you ever find yourself in that scenario, just give us a shout and we'll be happy to make things right.
Awesome. One of our listeners is asking, is Vortex selling bore sighters?
No, not currently.
Yeah. Okay. All right. One of the questions that I had for you was, you already covered the warranty. It's an amazing warranty, by the way. It's one of the best in the business. If you have any problems with it, just contact you, obviously. And
yes, please.
No questions asked. Which is great. So product lines, let's just actually, so what are some of the products that are currently available that people can purchase? Because not only do you have optics, you also have red dots, you also have some other things too, like binoculars, etc. So
yeah.
So what are some of the products that are currently out there on the market?
Yeah, absolutely. So again, we offer a wide range of anything you might need for any outdoor optical needs. Rifle scopes, obviously, red dots, prism optics, binoculars, monoculars, spotting scopes. I don't know if I've said tripods, going through my list, tripods, as well as a bunch of apparel and accessories as well. So some of our current products, new for this year, we have the Spark Solar. That's a red dot. It operates off of solar power when available and then converts over to battery power when it needs to. It is modeled very closely after our Spark AR. Again, it's just the addition of the solar on that unit. We relaunched our Spitfire 3 times, as well as added a Spitfire 5 times. So these are prism scopes. A lot of people call them red dots. So the difference between a red dot and a prismatic optic is the prismatic optic has the reticle etched in glass. So again, if you're ever in a hunting or a shooting snare and your battery goes down on you, the glass etched reticle still remains, so you still have a point of aim, which is a great benefit. So those ones have been relaunched as well. We've completely relaunched our tripod line. We have the Radian Carbon, which is a powerhouse of a tripod that if you're a serious long-range shooter and you're looking for stability and support and the ability to mount your firearm onto a tripod, look no further than the Radian Carbon. It is just fantastic.
Awesome.
I absolutely love it. It's ARCA Swiss compatible, as are all of our tripods. Going down into the Ridgeview, the Summit, and the High Country, they're going to offer based on what you're looking for. If you need lightweight and compact, there's that. And yeah, so you really want to just kind of pick which one's going to be best for you in those ones. And also, I guess definitely something that would I'd be remiss to not mention would be with the PRS and the Outlaw. The scopes that we're seeing gaining popularity, the PST Gen 2, the 5 to 25 by 50 first focal plane, the Strike Eagle 5 to 25 by 56, so the 56 mil objective, as well as a 34 mil tube, provides you with some additional adjustments that, again, the long-range shooters are looking to kind of push out and get as much of the adjustments that they can. We've launched the Venom, that is very closely comparable to the Strike Eagle. It's just a little bit easier on the wallet. And the Diamondback Tactical is the other one that folks really seem to enjoy, either the 4 to 16 or the 6 to 24. Those Diamondback Tacticals, to the last time I checked, they are one of a kind on the market, being offered at under, I believe it's under 800 for the MSRP. It's first focal plane with a side parallax adjustment. That's offered for that price point, and the 4 to 16 keeps you in the lower competition class. So if you're looking at putting that onto, a CZ or a Ruger of sorts, that will keep you in the lower competitive range there.
Yeah, it's also going to that's a good bang for your buck. Sorry about the pun. For getting in, if you're going to be shooting that type of series, whether it's the Rimfire or Outlaw series, it's great introductory for getting out to that distance and being able to do a quick adjustment on the fly in that as well.
Absolutely.
Richard Lee says, how bad is parallax error on a 50-yard Rimfire scope, say a Crossfire 2 to 7 by 32, when using a 25-meter maple seed at 100 yards? It's not going to be that bad. No, it wouldn't be that bad.
I don't think at 25 it would make much of a difference.
No.
Not around 100. I mean, the thing is with those are like a 2 to 7. So like your parallax will be bad at like high magnification. I don't know if it makes a difference that much at 2 to 7.
I note the contrast on like I have a Crossfire on my Ruger 1022, and if I'm like shooting at 20 yards, there's a parallax issue. It's not a rim. I didn't buy the Rimfire. I bought the non-Rimfire version. So again, shooting at 20 yards. Once I get up to like 4 or 5 magnification, that's where I start noting it. But anything under that, it's beautiful for that application. And as soon as you start pushing it out a little bit further, it's crystal clear and works perfectly for the application. So. And one more product that I did forget to talk about that I'm most excited for is our Fury AB Rangefinding Binoculars.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so a lot of our shooters and listeners would be familiar with Applied Ballistics.
Yeah.
So Applied Ballistics, Vortex, our Fury Rangefinding Binoculars range out to 5,000 yards. And you can program up to 3 custom loads, and it will read the environmental data, and you can essentially input everything you need. You range what you place in your custom profile for your build, your dope essentially, and you set it up. You connect it with your phone. You range. It'll tell you the corrections you need to make in your scope. So your spotter makes that call. You make your adjustments. Boom, you're on target.
Christmas is coming, guys.
Yes, it would be a wonderful addition. There's probably over an hour's worth of how-to videos. I very simplified the explanation as to how it works. But yeah, there's over an hour worth of how-to videos for the customization and the programming. And the Applied Ballistics component of it is we're pulling from their database of information inside of the unit. So yeah, they're phenomenal. If you want more information, again, give me a call. Check out some of the videos on the website. I'll be happy to get into the nitty gritty with you if you really want to figure out how to put that to the test. But honestly, yeah, they're a game changer for sure.
That's awesome. So I met you at a ladies' range day, which is awesome. But
Great time.
Vortex Canada, but Vortex itself, but Vortex Canada is hugely involved in giving back to the community. So first of all, just wanted to say thank you about that. But do you want to talk about some of the stuff that you guys have been doing, or where we'll be able to see you over the next little while?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you very much. And honestly, we thank everybody in the shooting community. We're very well supported. We have the best customers out there, and we're thankful to be able to give back the way we do. And honestly, anything that help, where can you see us in the future in any growing part of the sport? Again, wherever we can recognize where we can contribute and help out to grow the shooting sports, we absolutely do. There's something to be said about their conservation. We certainly do give quite a bit back to the conservation. It gets a little bit less light than our contributions to, say, the CCFR, for example, and other things. But really, we really like to support the PRS and the Rimfire, because that's very, very quickly growing. And basically, we like to contribute wherever we possibly can. And we're always open to new opportunities. So if you guys are having a shoot locally or anything like that, you want to shoot us off a quick email to see if there's something we can do, please feel free. We're always certainly happy to have a conversation with regards to that. But yes, definitely, Vortex really does pride themselves on giving back to the community that's given us so much. And we just hope that this sport continues to grow at the pace that it is. And yeah.
Okay, so if people do want to contact you, how can they contact you? Which methods?
Yeah, so the email is great. You can do the service at vortexcanada.net. Just shoot us off your inquiry and we'll get back to you. We have a really quick turnaround time on responses, as well as even our product repairs. We're currently operating for any repairs at the facility under a week. That facility. So we typically try to keep it under around 1 to 3 weeks. So turnaround time is really quick. Our response time is very quick. Service at vortexcanada.net. You can call our main line 866-343-0054. My direct extension is 808. And again, my name's Darryl. So anything from scope selection to mounting issues to just call me and shoot the breeze. Let me know about how your hunting trip went or how your recent shoot went. And I'm certainly happy to chat and meet any virtually over the phone. And hopefully once everything starts kind of resuming a little more normally, I'll get to see a few of you out at some of the shoots. I've started to take up PRS and Outlaw myself very recently. So I hope to see some of you out there.
Well, I know that I'm going to see you. But
yes, absolutely.
I hope everybody else does as well. So, guys, anything that do you guys have anything for Darryl as well before we let him go? I know that he's parked on the side of the road tonight.
Sorry about that.
No, it's awesome.
No, I mean, I think one of the reasons why I buy Vortex stuff is lifetime warranty is fantastic, but the fact that you guys sponsor so many different shooting competitions is a big reason for me. Yeah. I try to support the companies that support shooting sports, and you guys are one of the big names out there that's doing that.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I see you guys at all the competitions I go to. Huge supporter, so thank you for myself as a competition shooter.
Yeah.
Well, we thank you as well.
All right, Mo, got anything for him? Are you live?
No, I have a couple scopes and I'm happy with them. So
great.
There you go. It's an endorsement. All right. Thanks again, Darryl, for coming on.
Hey, it's my pleasure. Thanks. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say thanks again for coming on and telling everybody about how to mount your scope and the differences between the different scopes there are.
Yeah, some good tips.
Yeah. But if anybody is interested, check out vortexcanada.ca on the Instagrams, on Facebook, also on the websites as well. And I highly recommend all your products. I use it on everything that I shoot. So I just wanted to say thank you again. And thank you for supporting our Women's Day events and also Project Maple Seed, as well as the PRS series as well. So thanks again.
It is absolutely our pleasure. Thanks for having us out at the show, and thanks for having me on tonight. And yeah, if anyone needs anything, don't ever hesitate to give us a shout. We're always happy to help.
All right. Thanks, Darryl. Have a good night.
All right. You guys take care.
You too.
Again, thanks to Darryl for coming on, and thank you to Vortex Canada for supporting our community. Great company, by the way. Love it.
Are you guys going to mill, or are you guys sticking with MOA? What are you guys doing for scopes? I've got some MOA. I've started, like, my last two optics are mill. This thing here is mill, and my Covenant 7 is in mill as well.
Go ahead.
All I've done is MOA. I have thought about going to mill, but I've also been lazy and not wanting to try and relearn another system. It's like I barely got MOA somewhat figured out. So
what do you mean somewhat?
Well,
you got to figure it out, right?
I like to think so, but someone can easily prove me wrong, I'm sure.
You click it on the top to go up and down till the bullets are going where you point.
Yeah,
I think MOA is fine for a lot of people, but if you really want to get into that precision shooting, you're going to have to go and flip over to mill.
Well, everyone else does mill, so if you've got a spotter, they'll call like your 2 mil left.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's that much.
It seems like it's, especially for the precision, it's a nicer system.
Yeah. As I said, in Canada, we've been flip-flopping back and forth. We're seeing more and more. I'm seeing more and more Milrad on the line. What about you, Adriel?
I see about one or two every event.
Okay, I used to be seeing 0 or 1 in an event. Now I see at least 2 to 3 in an event here in Ontario. I think it's because we're really picking up with the precision rimfire.
Anytime you have CRPS or even ORPS, anytime people are like throwing real money at their rimfires, you start to see those mill scopes.
Yeah, and then I start looking at their rifles, and tell me all about this, and then eventually we have to shoot at some point. Okay, let's get into listener feedback. Listener feedback is sponsored by Armory DC Gunsmith. Armory DC Gunsmith is a full-service gunsmith who specializes in firearms refinishing. He offers hot bluing, parkerizing, Cerakote finishes, as well as wood refinishing. You can check out his inventory of new and used guns, firearms, accessories, optics, and more at dcgunsmith.ca. FYI, I just got a Vortex scope from him, and he gave me a good deal. And it was in stock, and nobody else had it. So, Brad, go and check him out. See if he has the scope you're looking for. You can also follow Armory DC Gunsmith on Facebook as well as on the Instagram. Say hi to Denis. Tell him we sent you over there, and that's about it. All right, let's pick up emails. I don't know. Somebody's doing stuff.
That one's 5 days ago. I'm adding it.
Okay, you know what? Thanks for adding it. I fell down on the job this week, didn't I? Okay, Adriel, since you added it, you get to read it. Haha.
From Adam. Hey guys and Kelly. On one of your episodes, you were talking about cheap shotguns and how the best bang for your buck is the Stoeger shotguns. They're a fantastic shotgun, but there is one cheaper that is just as good as the Stoeger, but you save more than $300. I've been running the Gersan MC312 for a year now, and I've used it for turkey and 3-gun here in Ontario. A friend of mine bought the Stoeger M3K 3-gun shotgun at the same time as I bought the Gersan, and they're virtually the same shotgun. The only downside of the Gersan is the trigger could be a little bit better, but for $500 shipped to my door, I can't really complain. After Adriel's done his move, I could send it out to him if he wants to review it, take a Dremel to it, shoot 3-gun with it, or hunt with it. I've been very happy with it so far and have not felt undergunned against any other expensive shotguns. Thanks for keeping the great content coming out each week. And the new guys are a great addition, but Trevor's shoes are so big, it takes 2 to fill them. Thanks, guys and gal. Keep up the good work.
Thanks, Adam. It's a Dremel. You could actually...
The loading port.
Yeah.
And then what kind of extension tubes does it have?
I don't know.
You get extension
that
tubes
would be the next one is, what thread is that?
I bet you it's the same as one of the other ones. All like a lot of these shotguns, they just copy all that stuff. Well, there's no sense in reinventing the wheel, right?
Nope.
I bet you it takes like a Benelli extension or something else, and it would just goes right on there.
I recall even the Stoeger and the Benellis are a different thread. If I recall correctly. Yeah, maybe. I'm pretty sure the Stoegers and the Benellis are a different thread. Remington's different. Beretta's different. Although, like an 870, you can put that tube on a Versamax. Because within Remington, they have the same thread.
Yeah, Remington values the backwards compatibility.
Yeah, but then you're shooting a Vortex or a Versamex, so
Yeah.
Which you don't like.
no, I don't like the Versamaxes.
Yeah. I am curious about the 312s because those are an inertial system shotgun, which should be pretty bulletproof. Shouldn't need to clean that off.
Definitely intriguing.
I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah. So Brad Brown, I just wanted so thank you for the email, by the way, Adam, but I did want to actually talk about this. Brad Brown, he mentioned on our feed, he says, I bought a MOA scope for my kids. They couldn't wrap their heads around the inches part of it. So I'm going to go there in just a second. So I grabbed a mil scope, the VX D-Lock 6-24, and let them try it. Now I have 4 times 4. So he has 4 Vortex and mil, one for each of them, and plus 1 of mine. Actually, it's a good point that he brought up, and the reason that I say it's a good point is because, again, those of us maybe who are a little bit more, how do I say this, aged, we can flip back and forth between both the metric and also the imperial. Because we were
very slow move to metric, right?
Yes,
like
it was
older people know room temperatures in Fahrenheit. Like middle-aged people don't know them, and then like kids don't know inches.
True. Yeah. So and pounds versus kilograms and everything. So we flip back and forth between everything, but kids in school are taught everything metric. So if we're going to get a kid into shooting and we want to give them a scope, it's a good idea to get them the mil dot scope.
Mil works for Imperial too. It can work for Imperial.
Yeah,
it's just not as convenient. Like MOA is convenient because it's like, it's close enough to an inch.
But when we're trying to teach somebody specifics on what to do with their scope and everything, it's going to be easier for them to grasp because they've grown up all their life with something that is metric, whereas we've grown up with both metric and Imperial as well. I just think that we're better because we can actually flip back and forth.
The aged people you referred to?
I said aged.
Richard's saying experienced, not aged.
Yeah, extremely experienced, Richard. Yeah, so we're multilingual in the distances. Okay, anyways, all right. It's a great topic or something really good to bring up. Anyways, thanks, Brad. Okay, if you want to send us an email, send it to slamfireradio@gmail.com. We'll talk about it, or you're always welcome to send us a message on Instagram as well as, on Facebook, whatever. We'll talk about it. Patreonies. We have no new Patreons this week, but if you'd like to support the show, you can go over to patreon.com and check out Slamfire Radio. It helps us put out this amazing content every week. Also, shout outs. Darryl? Do you have any?
Oh, he's muted.
He's muted.
Okay.
Thank you for the reminder. Just thanks to Steve for putting on that event in Drumheller. Congrats. And then thanks to John, came out to that one. He was a new IIT, did a great job.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's great.
Always nice to see new people coming out and helping out.
Yeah, thanks to the range for taking us and helping us put that event on as well.
Did I tell you that I was secretly looking at Drumheller housing market? And I was looking to see maybe what would...
If you sold your place there, I bet you could get an acreage around that area.
Yeah, you can live like a queen in Drumheller, probably.
Well, I'm the queen already here.
No, but with an actual...
with the palace.
Yeah, with the palace. Villagers and everything like that.
Yeah.
Dinosaurs, coal.
Yeah. But anyways, so I was looking 2 days ago. Seriously.
Oh.
All right.
You're gonna leave me behind?
No.
Oh.
Maybe. I was also looking at New Brunswick and Nova Scotia, by the way, too. I could get acreage right there for my place too. Anyways,
Edmonton's hiring, and there's houses for cheap.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's Edmonton though. All right. Well, what about you?
Nothing for me this evening.
Okay, Kyle?
Glenn and Mark for helping RO on Friday.
Cool. Yeah. Okay. I just wanted to give a shout out to Darryl again for coming on, and also all the guys at Vortex that regularly come out and support all of our events. It's great to see them. Some of my favorite people work for Vortex now. Hey, Ken. And yeah, so, and the ladies.
I noticed you didn't really mention what correct torque setting you need to put on hose clamps when you're mounting your scope. I thought he would, but he just didn't get to it.
Really? Oh, anyways, one of the things that we didn't talk about is what height of rings people should get. You know what I see a lot of? I see a lot of people putting on low rings, and then they're mounting their scope, and it's so close to your rifle that you can't turn the magnification, and then it's like, yeah.
Or else sky high. Like so high, like you can't even achieve them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So get the right rings, by the way. And I do recommend that. Yeah, I know that you can go to Alibaba or wherever and get rings, but
don't cheap out.
We got hardware stores with hose clamps. So
hose clamps, yeah, yeah. No.
Don't cheap out.
You know what?
Stainless.
Oh, seriously, though. You laugh, but I had somebody send me a picture of a rifle that had their scope attached that way, and it was welded. Instead of using rings, it was welded.
Nice.
Not coming off.
I think I sent it to you.
No, it's not moving.
It's not moving.
Yeah, it's on there. It's not there.
Crush tube.
Yeah. No crush tube. Yeah.
I'm going, oh my God, I can't believe you did that. And they wanted to know how much they could get for it. Nothing. All right. That's it, I guess. Why don't we sign off? Okay. Check us out on Gunners Canada and give us a like on Facebook. Also, give us a review on Facebook. We would like to hear from you. Join the CCFR. We've already talked about that a lot, but you really need to. We will see you next week. And good night, Trevor.
Good night, Trevor.
Good night, Trevor.
You're not
Good night, Trevor.
Good night, Trevor.